Hi, this is Julian from Coffee House Guitars, and today we're going to have a look at this Fender Custom-Shop Relic 65 Strat that I bought on eBay at the weekend. Paid about $2,200 for it at auction. Managed to pip in at the last second and get that. And everything on the eBay listing looks good. It comes with a certificate. The serial number on the certificate matches the serial number on the neck plate of the guitar. However, when I opened the case, initially got some bad feelings about it. So what we're going to do in this video is go through the guitar, have a look, and see what this really is, and try and get to the bottom of a few little anomalies that I noticed when I first had a look at it. So upon getting it out of the case, I instantly had a feeling that this was an older guitar. It was sold to me as a 2014. I've seen an awful lot of Fender Custom-Shop guitars. They went through various iterations, and this one for me definitely feels like a bit of an older one. Other thing that was slightly concerning was that it's got a mint green scratch plate, which a 65 Relic shouldn't really have, although it could be a custom order, so that's not necessarily a cause for concern. One of the other things I noticed was the bridge saddles. It's getting very geeky now, but for a 2014 custom shop, they should say Fender Pat Penned. These say Fender, which, in fact, looking at them, more closely, I don't think these are actually even from a Fender custom shop guitar. These saddles look like they're from possibly an older American reissue, or maybe reproduction ones. To me, they don't look right at all. The other thing, if I flip the guitar over, the other thing is that I'm looking at 5 tremolo springs, which look absolutely brand spanking new. They don't look like they are 8 years old. And a claw that is a sort of gunmetal grey colour with some terrible soldering on, amateurish soldering, and that claw is a bit bent. It looks like it's made out of a cheaper metal than what I'm used to seeing. The other thing is that the neck plate here looks like it's been sanded, possibly, and then repolished up. And it's also quite bent. Somebody's really been screwing this in hard at some stage. It's really, really drawn itself in to the cellulose lacquer. The other thing that I've noticed is the machine heads are definitely synonymous with an earlier custom shop model. They're the plain ones. There's no Fender line down the middle of the back of them, which again is very fine details. It's really geeky, but that's a great way to tell whether or not you've got a genuine set from that period. The certificate itself, that looks pretty genuine. I've seen an awful lot of these, and this really does look perfect. I don't think this is a fake certificate. One of the other major issues, though, major red flag, is that the tag that's come with the guitar in the case has got a completely different serial number on it. So that tag is definitely from a completely different guitar. So what we're going to do now is take this to pieces. We're going to have a good look inside and see exactly what we've got and try and get to the bottom of some of these questions. So I've taken this guitar to pieces, and one of the first things that I've noticed inside the body cavity there is August 2003 date stamp. Same with the neck as well. So that clearly contradicts the 2014 date that is on the certificate. Other thing that I've noticed as well is that these bridge saddle screws here all seem very long. The bridge saddles seem quite a long distance back. Doesn't look very good, and that's not typically what I see on Fender Custom Shop guitars. I think this body and this neck are genuine Fender Custom Shop. We've got the Relic markings on both of them. They look pretty consistent, so that's a good sign. So let's have a look underneath the scratch plate. Now, the first problem I've got here is that I'm really struggling to get this scratch plate flipped over. That indicates to me that it's definitely been rewired because the wiring is too short. The way that these are normally wired in the custom shop is basically perfectly. The wiring is normally spot on with absolutely perfect soldering. If I do have a bit of a look under there, it's a complete mess. I've got a big bundle of cables being held together with a cable tie, and I can see that the soldering is pretty sort of amateurish. On the plus side, again confirming my suspicions, it is a real custom shop Relic body. We've got the Relic stamp there, and it says 65 Relic in the neck pickup cavity as well. So so that's a good sign. If I flip the body over, this pickup cavity here, we've got the word Relic stamped in the cavity, which is again a good sign. Confirms to me that this is probably genuine. I think it's the original paint finish as well. However, the trem springs are brand spanking new. They really look too new to be almost 2 decades old. The claw here is a sort of gunmetal grey colour. That's definitely not right. It should be a silvery metal colour. And the soldering on there for the grounding wire is amateurish. It's been done with a soldering iron that wasn't hot enough, and so yeah, that doesn't look good. It doesn't instill me with a huge amount of confidence. So one of the other things that I noticed as soon as I opened the case and took this out was that somebody has drilled extra holes where the backplate should fit on. So it comes with a backplate which looks fairly genuine. It does fit over the big holes, but somebody else has drilled some smaller holes, presumably for a different backplate that went on there at some stage. You know, it's not very good. Again, why somebody would do that is beyond comprehension, really. If you can't make your backplate fit, you wouldn't drill holes in a £2,500 guitar, £3,000 guitar. You would normally just leave it off, like a lot of players do. It's much easier to change the strings without that thing on. So again, it's annoying, and it's one of those things that raises eyebrows and thinks, okay, has this guitar been in the hands of somebody who is a bit of a DIY customizer and is happy chopping and changing things around, which is not a good sign. So yeah, that's definitely another reason that I won't be selling this guitar to a retail customer. One of the other things to note is that this is meant to be a 65 Relic. It's got a mint green guard. Again, that doesn't say too much, because often custom orders would have specified certain things that wouldn't necessarily be period correct, but a 65 Strat should have more of a white parchmenty colour to the pick guard. Pickups themselves inside, they do have custom shop stickers on them. They're definitely not the original pickups. They've got wires that are far too long, all held together with cable ties. They've got these little custom shop stickers which are all peeling off. So without getting further into those, I'm not going to comment on exactly what they are. Again, neck itself feels like a great quality neck. I think we've got the vintage radius on here, and definitely skinny frets, which is more synonymous with the earlier custom shops from the sort of 2003 era. The later ones mostly have a 9.5 radius with medium jumbo frets, but again, custom orders can mean quite the opposite sometimes. But again, these machine heads on here, these are typical of what was used in around 2003 rather than 2014. And the other thing actually that brought my attention to the fact that this wasn't a 2014 was this logo on the back here, the Fender Custom-Shop logo. That became a bit bolder later on. I don't know exactly when, but certainly a 2014 one should have a slightly bolder, more pronounced black Fender Custom-Shop logo on the back. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to get it all put back together, put a new set of strings on it for the guy, and I'm going to courier it back to him. I've already had a chat with him on the phone. He seems pretty happy. He's very apologetic. He never took it to pieces. He bought it from eBay 2 years earlier, so he was none the wiser, but he seems like a pretty honest guy. His feedback was excellent. So he's going to offer me a refund, and I would imagine he would resell it on eBay, however, declaring that there are these little anomalies. So one of the other things I have done is email Fender with the serial number of the guitar to ask them for a spec sheet, and to ask them if they know why the certificate has a different date on it to the guitar. So we'll see what comes back from that. And yeah, so it's a guitar that I'm definitely not happy retailing off. It's got questions that I can't answer, so I would feel very uneasy selling this guitar to a customer. Its resale value is always going to be tricky if there's things to explain like this. So it's best to send it back to the guy. I'd imagine he'll probably be able to sell it for similar money to somebody who maybe just doesn't care. Or somebody that's just happy to own the guitar and not knowing that it's perfectly legit. That said, it is actually a really great guitar itself. Playability, sound, it's not too heavy, really good, but it's not for coffee house guitars. So thanks for watching, and if you previously owned this guitar or retailed it, or if you did these customizations, or you changed it around, or if you were the person who asked Fender for a new certificate for it, then get in contact and let me know. I'd be really interested, just for the sake of curiosity, just to find out. And if I do find out, I'll let the guy who sold it to me know as well. Now, I know it was retailed through a shop in Liverpool in 2018, or somewhere up north anyway. So yeah, it'd be interesting to let me know. Okay, thanks for watching.